Today I'm going to show you how a self-tacking jib works and how you can design one for your small boat model. This is how the self-tacking jib model works. Basically, you have a rope that goes to a winch through the block, and here we have this like a butterfly wing design. And the trick is that the force in this rope and this rope are equal, so this piece can freely swing left and right. So our mechanism must be extremely simple to assemble. And I came up with a solution. We will use those sailing pins as well as those rings for the sailing pins and this pipe that has a 3mm inner diameter and 3mm outer diameter. And the goal is to drill the 3mm diameter hole here and here and put this pin through it and glue it in on a silicone. Now the ring will go through this hole that the pin has and the ring I have right here, and all of them will work, and drill 3mm hole through this pipe that will allow us to slice it on to this 3mm pin. So then we can use this 3mm inner diameter and 6mm outer diameter aluminum pipe to drill 3mm hole in it that will allow us to put it through the pin that will come out of the deck. So let's begin. First we will create the sketch. We will switch to the top view. And keep in mind the jib is a big sail and we want to have it as close to the mast as we can. And let's just put the holes here. Now, it's very tricky since the holes must be slightly more than 3mm because of the tolerances, so our part can slide through freely. Here I have the set of variables that I set up previously, and here it is. M3 bolt clearance is 3.2mm. So, when you go ahead and click on the diameter, you can write in M3. The variable will come up here. There is another great tool called Symmetric, where we can make those two circles symmetric around this line, and the great tool called Equal, which can allow us to make those two circles equal. We can basically decide the span over. So let's say there will be around 160mm between them. Now just click OK. And now we will extrude this part. Click Remove. Make sure that this part is selected, the one that we want to cut, and click OK. Now we have those two holes right there. You also can go back to the sketch and edit it to your liking. As you can see, it's probably a bit too close to the mast, so we can select this tool and set the distance from the mast. And I think that's 15mm is enough. Great. As you can see, it automatically removed it, and now we have holes here. Now let's go ahead and design the pin and how we envision it to be there. So you can click on a part. This will be a 3mm piece of aluminum, so we can hide it. And now we will go ahead and draw another sketch. And this time we will set the diameter to 3mm instead of 3.2 as it was in our function. So as you can see, it's very slightly smaller. And we will click OK, and this part will be extruded by exactly 10mm because we are buying 10mm pins. And the niceness of this setup is that we can always upgrade pins later if we find them to be too short, and we will flip the direction. Great. Now we will just need to make the cup. So sketch, and let's go back to the diagram and look how wide the cup is. And it is 5mm wide and about 1mm in thickness. So again, click on the circle and set it equal to 5. Great. Now let's extrude it. Now, because the sketch actually touches both of our parts, it's very important when you click on Add to select the part you want to merge it with. And of course, limit the thickness to 1mm. And here we go, it's our pin. Now it's not completely done, since we still need to drill the hole. So zoom in, zoom out, select the plane, and reorientate the sketch. So now let's drill this tiny hole. If we go back to the diagram, it says it's 1.6mm in diameter. So let's set it up equal to 1.6. Now a few more measurements. It's claimed to be 7.8mm from the bottom, and we can do it by selecting this part and the bottom plane. right there, which we again can reorient the sketch and select it to be 7.8. And of course we will need to center it. For this I will use outside geometry, and also I will make it a construction line. Now I will add another construction line, which, if you noticed, I picked the middle point, which is automatically selected by the Onshape. And now I just put this point onto this line. Click OK, and now we can remove it. As you can see, it's a bit too far away because it starts from the plane. So let's just give it arbitrary number 100, and it's automatically selected the part that it wants to merge with. This is a success, so click OK. Now, here's a great tool in Onshape where you can basically select the whole part and you can mirror it. The mirror plane will be exactly the same plane that we used in the past, so it will be the front in our case. And as you can see, the part had been completely mirrored right there. So click OK. And now we're off to the next part. Remember the pipe? Right there. 6 millimeters in outer diameter. So let's go back to the sailboat and draw it. Again, we will draw it in the front plane. Sketch. And draw 2 circles. Give them dimensions. So 6 for outer and 3 for inner. We can bring the outside geometry to assist us. Draw the line and make sure they are aligned. Now, as you can see, I made a mistake and this part is clearly too big. And this is the beauty of 3D modeling, since what we can do is to go back and just select a bigger one. Instead of 10, we will use 16. Okay, so we are back here. And now we want to really determine the distance between the deck and this part. And I think that's around 3-4 millimeters will be great, because you don't want to wiggle too much. So maybe even, so 4 looks right. Now, in a bit, we will make a spacer here that will not allow this pipe to slide down. So here we go. Just go ahead and extrude it by 160. Symmetric, and it will be new. Here is our pipe. Now we need to drill the holes in the pipe, since if I will hide this part, you will see there is no holes in it. And there is actually a mistake. Mirror part assumed we added it to part 8, while we created a completely new design. So entities to mirror, here we go, we fixed it. And now when I hide this part, it's its own part. Great. And what's the easiest way to actually drill the holes through it is to use the outside geometry. So we will create the new sketch in this plane, and we will grab the outside geometry of this pin. So 1 and 2. Click OK and remove it. Now when you're removing it, it's very important to merge it with the correct body. In our case it's this pipe, and this is removed. However, as you can see, I made a very crucial mistake, because this pipe will slide onto this pin, so its hole must be a little bit bigger. So we cannot use this outside geometry, so we will need to delete it. But we can use the other outside geometry. Remember of this hole that we use the variable for? It's actually slightly bigger and therefore perfect to use. Here we go. Now again it's all removed and nice to go. And good to go. Again, hide it. And now you will be able to see the holes there. Now let's make the spacers. Again, for spacers we will click on this plane, create sketch, and we again will use the outside geometry of those 2 holes. So you can see how useful it is. Now because the spacer must have the wall thickness, right? It's probably good to just use the same pipe with the drilled out section, right? So the inner is 3, outer is 6. We can just create another 2 circles, make them equal, and set their diameter to 6 millimeters. Click OK, and let's extrude them as new. So now we also can use this arrow to increase and decrease the size to our liking. And it looks like that 4 millimeter worked just fine. Great. Now, as you can remember, I showed you those rings right here, and those rings will actually go up there and will stop this pipe from sliding off, in addition to serving as a fixing point for our blocks from the diagram. So here we are. We just had created our base